Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So in this video I wanted to quickly share, a lot of you may have heard about the Alaafin of Oyo, that he has passed on. For anyone that does not know who he is, because obviously some of you that watch me are not even Nigerians, so he is a king in Yoruba land. Yoruba is one of the tribes in Nigeria. So this man died at the age of 83, and they said he came onto the throne, I think they says in 1970. So over 50 years ago he's been on the throne. So he was unwell. They plan to take him abroad. They said they have already secured his travel documents for him and some of his wives to go with him. For anyone that does not know, he has a lot of wives, which is normal for for royals, and it depends on, sometimes you hear that he has 15 wives, sometimes you hear whatever number, but he has a lot of wives. They already got the papers for him and some of his wives to travel abroad for treatment, but unfortunately he passed on in a university teaching hospital in a state in Nigeria. So there's an area of the discussion that I actually wanted to talk about, because I have addressed something similar to this before in one of my videos, and the video was seen as controversial. Some people were here and there and all of that, but I think this kind of explains what I was talking about. Unfortunately, we have a lot of our people that are very quick to turn everything into a rant rather than take it as opportunity for us to have a conversation. The video is still here. I'll put a link for you guys to check it out. So basically something that came up is that they buried him according to Muslim rites, and which involved the presenting of the body, the Muslim way they wrap and present the body, pray over the body before the burial. So, but there are traditionalists that have seen that as disrespectful to the Oba, to lay him like that for everybody to see. A lot of you that, if you do not know, for those of you that do not understand African culture, the Oba is the Oba is well respected. I don't even know how to explain it. After God is the Oba. I think that's a good way to actually explain it. Yeah. So after God is the Oba, like a well respected traditional, Oba, the Alaafin, rural, the king. So that Alaafin is basically is a king. Kings are well respected. Traditionalists are people that are, they uphold the tradition of the people. So they see that as disgraceful, disrespectful, and embarrassment to lay the Oba on the ground and people get to see him. But the how do I say it, where I think where the problem lies, if I can put it that way, is that the tradition and the religion are different. Nigeria is a country where we have predominantly Muslims and Christians, but before Christianity and Islam came, we would have been traditionalists, if I can put it that way, and holding on to the African religion, culture and tradition 100%, and that involves some kind of rites and things that have to be practiced when a king dies, right? So but now, because of this influence, because of the influence of Christianity and Islam, a lot has changed. So when it comes to the burial of this Oba, right, apparently if you look at it, he was buried according to Muslim rites, but the traditionalists are not happy with some of these things, because the Oba is an upholder of the culture of the people, and this Muslim style of burial is being seen by the traditionalists as contrary to the traditionalist way of doing an Oba's burial. And if you think that this man has been, for the fact that he's been in power for over 50 years, would show you that the last burial would have been over 50 years ago, and that must have been done the traditional way. I'm not sure if Islam, the influence of Christianity and Islam would have been as big as it is now, as it was 50 years ago. So he is being buried now as a Muslim, the Muslim way. But the traditionalists still believes that it is wrong to leave their traditional way of burying the Oba and bury him according to Muslim rites. I was reading somewhere where a traditionalist complained that even the Oba was not put onto the throne in a church or in a mosque. I'm going to be honest. I'm reading what they said this traditionalist said, and I understand what he is saying. If that makes sense. I understand. I'm not saying I agree or I disagree. I'm saying I understand what he is saying. So understanding and agreeing are two different things. But unfortunately, some of our people will not still understand that aspect. So now he is saying that he was not placed on the throne in a Christian way or in an Islamic way. So he cannot be buried in a Christian way or an Islamic way. He has to be buried the same way he was put there on the throne. So he was put on the throne in the traditional way. He was a custodian of the traditional culture. You understand? So his burial should be done the traditional way. The argument is there on Facebook, and some people are completely against him being buried as a Muslim or Christian, because some people see it as, okay, so because Christianity and Islam came, we should throw away our culture, we should throw away our tradition, just because Christianity and Islam came. Is that what we should do? So our culture is inferior to Christianity and Islam? Some people are against that because that is how they see it. That thing that make people feel like they are treating our tradition, African Nigerian tradition, as inferior to the Christian practices and Islamic practices. Why I found it interesting, because I made a video and addressed a topic like this, where a pastor said he was on the line to be on the throne in his part of Yoruba land. He didn't want it. He went into pastoring. He had no interest. He didn't want to have anything to do with traditional ruler, whatever kind of stuff. But he said now he's retiring as a pastor. He has clocked 60 and he's retiring as a pastor. But he now decided that God, I can't remember how he phrased it, but he believes that God wants him to now go and take up this role, that he ran away from all these decades, that God wants him to go take up this role of a traditional ruler in his own side of Yoruba land. I made a video in which I was asking, I said this thing, me, if I can, sometimes I make a video, and especially when I make a video and all of that, and something else then happens that kind of confirms what I was trying to say before. Some people say the Lord spoke to me. God knows they drop voice from heaven and speak to me. But sometimes I see it as a sign that is, I personally, I'm not going to lie for God here though, because some people say God told me that. No, I'm saying that when something's happening, I feel like, is that God trying to reconfirm what I was addressing before? This is how I'm thinking about it. Not too long ago, I made this video. It's still here. If you go there, you see the comments. Some people fight me. Some people are angry with me, which I said, the same pastor that didn't want to take up this a particular kingship role before, because he felt like that is not, his area. His area is to be a pastor. And now he's now decided after decades that he's going now to be that traditional ruler. I'm now asking, what changed? The same position he ran away from decades ago, he's going back to it. There was a reason why he ran away from it decades ago, because he felt like he wants to be the church pastor aspect is what he wanted for his life. So those things that made him run away from those things are still there. So is he now happy to go there and go do this? And I was saying, if it involves going there to change the people or change the culture or the tradition involved in the kingship, okay, then I would kind of, but if he's going there to go and uphold it the way it should be done, then you ask yourself, is that a Christianly thing to do? And I said it, I said he has a right to go do it, but these are the questions in my head. And I asked a lot of questions because I wouldn't be very well informed when it comes to Yoruba culture, and because I'm not Yoruba, you understand? So I had a lot of questions. I said, those of you that are from here, from the place, do you know this? Do you know that? How does this work? How does this work? Can you educate us in the comment section? So people actually took their time to make it an educational discussion. So people didn't care. Their own had to fight and fight and fight, right? But anyways, this brings me back to that, because I was saying, is he going to go there and uphold the culture and tradition involved in the kingship role? This is the, if I can use the word, is it clashes between Christianity and some traditions, or Islam and some traditions? I don't even know what faith, but I'm thinking, do you only practice Islam? Because they won't be using Islamic burial rites for him if he didn't practice Islam. So I'm thinking that was what he practiced, and that's why they're using Islamic ways for him for the burial. So if he practiced Islam, but he was still the king of a place, and there are some traditions involved. You see why some people will be here and there about it, like which way should he be buried? You understand? Which way should he be buried the traditional way, or should he be buried according to Islamic way? Traditional way because he's the king of a place and his role involves upholding the tradition, and Islamic way because he must have been Muslim while he was alive. So basically, I always say everybody is free to be Muslim, Christian, whatever faith you want to practice, traditional religion, everybody is free, whatever. It's a free world. I've always said, I'm a Christian, for example, I speak for Christianity. Christianity is a faith that is not forced on anyone. It is the faith of come and see that the Lord is good. Come and try and see my God. That is how Christianity works. You want to stay, if you don't want to stay, you're free to come and go. That is one thing about Christianity. It's something you decide to be. So before anybody come here, that's not what my point is. So what then, when the traditionalists see it as an insult to bury the Oba the non-traditional way, especially they talk about his body should not be laid down there for people to come and spectate, available to everybody like that, because that's not their culture. They see that as disrespectful to him. They see that as embarrassing. They see that as disgraceful. Do you know, it's not a good way to bury him, because that is not the traditional way to honor and respect the Oba. You know, I keep saying Oba, I'm sorry, the Alaafin. I said Oba a lot, but I think Oba basically means king, but I meant to say the Alaafin. So I don't know, I just wanted to come and bring it up here because we've discussed something similar to that before. I just wanted to bring it up here for whatever, for us to rub minds. Those that are willing to turn it into educational topic, feel free to do that. That's what we need, educational contribution, that everybody, we can all rub minds about it. So whatever your opinions are about this, you know, should the Oba be buried the traditional way because he was a traditional ruler, or should the Oba be buried as a Muslim, in a Muslim way because he practiced Islam while he was alive? You know, whatever your opinions are, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.